everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of my Contemporaryathon little mini reading vlog. So today is Saturday, May 23rd, and I'm just getting on to start this. The Contemporaryathon started yesterday, but I was finishing up Read-A-Rama round 14, and so I didn't start vlogging for this until today, but now I have wrapped up all those books, and I low-key started participating yesterday because yesterday I read How to Keep a Secret by Sarah Morgan, which is contemporary, and then today I read My Favorite Souvenir by Penelope Ward and Vi Keeland, also contemporary. So technically I started yesterday and have read 2 books, but since they also counted for the Read-A-Rama and they were on that vlog, I am not going to count it. So now what I'm going to start is How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. And I think this one is about a woman who's in an accident of some sort, and then she wakes up and she kind of has to make a decision about, does she go back to the life that she had before, or does she walk away? And I have heard so many good things about this. I have loved every Catherine Center book I have read, and so I'm just so excited to pick it up. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be reading right now. It's about 5:20, and I need to get up and make some dinner, and then I'll spend some time with my family. It's starting to kind of cloud up and stuff, so I think we may just eat dinner and then maybe watch an episode of The Voice or something, and then I will start How to Walk Away this evening. So I will get on tomorrow and let you know what I think. Hey everyone, so it's like 5 o'clock on Sunday, and I am just now getting on to update because it's been kind of a busy day. So if you saw in the clips before, we had a little bird that it was like pecking at the window the whole time I was downstairs working out, and it was just such a sweet little cardinal. And my husband then told me afterwards it's because he accidentally destroyed its nest, and I just feel terrible for it because it's like angry trying to rebuild its nest, and I guess it was like telling me what for. So anyway, that happened, and then I have not packed up a hospital bag yet, and I have got to do that. So this morning I spent all morning going through bags of clothes that were my daughter's and pulling out all the ones that are newborn, 0 to 3, those sizes, so I can pick something for us to take to the hospital, and also so I can get her clothes set up so when we get home she has clothes. And so it was just a tornado, and I had my daughter helping, and so I told I sat there and my husband walked in and he was like, wow. And I told him it's like brushing your teeth while eating Oreos. Like, I was putting things in stacks and she was taking them. So then luckily he took her for a while and I was able to get it all organized. And then I'm getting a little gift bag for her that comes from her baby sister. So hopefully we'll start off on a good foot and not be resentful, but fingers crossed, I don't know. So that's what I did. And then we watched church, and that's about how our morning went. And then we also went on a walk around our neighborhood, and I'm trying to do that at least once or twice a day because walking can encourage labor, so pulling out all the stops. And so yeah, then we went, my husband put her down for a nap, and I went and laid down, but I got on Amazon and stuff and got a bunch of stuff for Father's Day for my husband and my dad, just to try to get that done before baby comes, and just started doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I also, while I was laying there, finished How to Walk Away by Catherine Center, and this was so good. I love Catherine Center, and so I was not surprised, but I think this one is probably my favorite of hers. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I just loved it. It's about a girl named Margaret who is like very, very afraid of flying. And then on this day that is supposed to be like the best day of her life, she gets in an airplane and it crashes. And well, it doesn't crash. It just has a bad landing. She gets stuck in there and it leaves her with bad burns and a spinal cord injury. So then she's in the hospital for a very long time, and it's questionable if she'll walk again, so hence How to Walk Away. And it gives her like a chance to reevaluate her life and see, like, is she happy with where things are and how she is living her life. And so it also gives her a chance to walk away if she wants to. So I loved Margaret from the very beginning. I could relate to her a lot as a nervous flyer. I just instantly was like, oh, sweetie, because somebody was kind of pressuring her to get on this plane. And I just immediately, like, my heart went out to her. And I continued to like her throughout the book. So I think that really helped. And then her family is very involved. She's got a sister named Kit who was kind of estranged. And there's not really bad blood between her and Kit, but there is bad blood between Kit and the mom. So her mom and dad and Kit are all there for her while she's in the hospital. And I loved the familial relationships. Her sister is like right there for her all the time. And I just loved that. I loved seeing their relationship. And I just loved watching her grow. She has to go through PT and OT, and just watching her gain strength, both physically and like emotionally. Loved watching it. I don't want to say a whole lot more about it, except my only complaints are that I wish there would have been a little more of like a tell-off moment between her and some people, but that didn't happen. And then the ending was a little bit convenient, but that's okay. Now my husband just got my daughter up and I can hear her crying, so I'm gonna go deal with that. Oh, the last thing I forgot to say about this is there's a bonus chapter at the end of this that is from the firefighter's perspective, the one who saved her out of, or like got her out of the plane. And the firefighter is Cassie from Things You Save in a Fire. So I loved seeing that little bonus chapter. That was so great. But I'm gonna go deal with my daughter now. Hey everyone, it's about 8 o'clock on Monday night, and I'm just getting on to update for the first time today because it has just been a crazy day. So I spent all morning up in the baby's room organizing and putting clothes away, doing laundry. I got her whole first year in her closet, so that is nice. Just because we found with my daughter, like sizing a 0 to 3 month and a 6 to 9 month can be like almost the same size. So I just got out the whole first year and put it up, and that makes me feel really good. Got the hospital bag pretty much packed, and we'll just kind of wait and see, because in this weather, like this season, it was like almost 90 degrees yesterday and 60 today. So do I need to pack pants? Do I need to pack shorts? I don't know. So the bag's not 100% packed, but that's okay. We'll just be able to throw stuff in as we need it. And got my little big sister gift ready, and so we are feeling ready. Today I have had a lot of contractions and a lot on the right side, which is kind of weird. I thought, like, at certain points today I've been like, hey, maybe it's go time, but it's not. So I don't know, just kind of a fake out day that way. And then this afternoon we ate a late lunch, because we worked downstairs for a while and just kind of did stuff around the house all day, and then ate a late lunch and put my daughter down. My husband put my daughter down, and she was just so upset. She was not having it. So I went and got her and put her in my bed, and we laid down together, and she fell asleep on my arm. And so I was listening to the audiobook for Sugar Daddy by Lisa Kleypas, and then that ran out. Like, I had a headphone in, then that ran out, and I only had one hand, and I was like, crud, what do I do? So I just kind of played on my phone with one hand, and then woke her up at like 5 because it was late. And so that's really how the afternoon went. And then I made dinner and we ate. We watched some of The Voice. My daughter and my husband were sitting in the tent reading, and while I was writing my review, because I finished Sugar Daddy by Lisa Kleypas. And so I'm so surprised by how much I like it. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was very good. It's about a girl named Liberty who she's raised by a single mom, and a mom who just kind of is trying to get by, and then her mom gets pregnant, and so now she's got a little sister, and then something happens that makes her solely responsible for the little girl. And so I just loved seeing her take on that role, because she never complained, never like put up any fight to it. She just took it on and took care of her little sister, loved her so much. And that was that. So I love that part. then when she's young, like when she's a teenager and stuff, she falls for her best friend's brother named Hardy. They have a relationship, whatever. But he always kind of holds her at a distance because he knows he doesn't want to stay in the town. So that relationship goes on. Eventually he leaves and she starts working in a salon and meets this, or it's like a cosmetology school, maybe, I don't know, and meets this billionaire guy named Churchill. So then she starts kind of working for him and stuff continues from there. My complaints about the book were that there is like a love triangle at one point, which that in itself doesn't bother me. But like, I feel like both of the love interests needed more development. Like we needed more about their character and enough because I was not emotionally invested really in either relationship. Like I didn't really care which way it went until the very end. And maybe part of it is this book is told in first person from Liberty's perspective. And so I don't know if maybe we could have gotten like a little glimpse of Gage or Hardy's perspectives, if that would have made it a little better. But I just feel like we didn't really know them enough. But I loved Liberty. Really, I liked most of the characters quite a bit. So overall, I'm giving this 4 stars. I'm very glad because I'm not a huge fan of Lisa Kleypas's historical, but I'm also not a huge fan of historical, so that's not super surprising. And so I have one other contemporary by her on my shelf, so I can't remember what it is, but I'm way more interested in picking it up now after reading this one. So I buddy read it with Tia from Tia and All the Books, and we haven't really talked about it yet just because we've been kind of reading at weird times, and then I finished it, and then my daughter finally got up, and then it's been kind of a go scramble since then. So I am really interested to hear her thoughts, but this ends Contemporaryathon. Monday night is the end of it, but I am going to continue for one more day because I didn't start until Saturday night because of Rita Roma. And so I'm going to extend this one more day, read one more book tomorrow, and then I'll end the Contemporaryathon. So kind of making my own rules, but there's always room for contemporary. So I'm going to pick up Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. And this one is a gymnast romance. I think it's about a girl who was a gymnast or was trying to be an Olympic gymnast or something. And her best friend was also there. Her best friend made it to the Olympics, but I don't think she did. And her best friend also started a relationship with the coach. So now it's years later and she is asked to like train another young gymnast, and she kind of falls for her the coach of the young girl, I think. I don't really know, but it is an arc that comes out in June. I'm not sure what date, but I will either put it up or I'll say something later when it comes out, like what date it comes out. But I need to get it read, so I'm going to start that tonight and hopefully finish it up tomorrow, and that'll be that. So we will talk to you tomorrow. Hey everyone, it is Tuesday and we are just running to get groceries, and I thought I would get on an update. This morning we have been doing workout videos on YouTube. Body Fit by Amy, she's got a whole playlist of videos for like prenatal, and so we did the one to induce labor, then we did an arms one because it is super rainy here, so we can't take a walk or do anything like that. So that's what we've been doing this morning. I did want to add a little update about Sugar Daddy by Lisa Kleypas. It takes a really long time to get to like the meat of the story. So if you're going in expecting like a fully adult novel, it's not. Like the first half almost is like her in her teen years. So I just wanted to let you know that. And then also the Sugar Daddy relationship is very understated, and I kept waiting for like more to happen from that. But again, this is not a like Sugar Daddy kink type of thing. So just so you know, that's what that. But I am about halfway done with Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein, and I am loving it. But I need to put a little disclaimer because I can identify with the character so much. She is a former gymnast that was almost an Olympian, but she got injured like right before the trials or whatever, or during the trials or something, I don't know. And while I was never an Olympian, I have always been pretty athletic. And now that I'm pregnant, I am just feeling like physically very incapable. And it's very frustrating and very like almost identity crisis. Not to make this like therapy, but it's like if you can't be the person or the athlete that you have always been, then what? And how frustrating. And like it's almost, there's almost some jealousy of people who are more like physically able. It's weird to even compare that to pregnancy because my body is doing amazing things, but just the idea of your body not being capable of doing what it used to be able to do, and how frustrating and like disheartening that is. And so I am loving her as a main character. Like I said, it's her story. She is asked to then train a young gymnast who's like 8 years younger than her and who is an Olympic hopeful. And so she goes to do that, and she has to deal with a lot of these issues of like how much her life has changed. And she's seeing both the good and the bad. Like the changes that come with not being an Olympic level athlete are a lot more freedom, a lot less like rigidity about diet, exercise, that kind of stuff. But the loss is also there, and just like kind of grieving for what could have been is very relatable, I guess. Okay, sorry for the stop and start. We decided to have a meltdown because we couldn't sit in the front seat, and so darn me being bad mom, trying to protect my 2-year-old. Side note, around here, preschool starts at 2.5, and I was not planning to send her this year because she'll be 2.5 at the end of July. And I just thought I'd wait till 3.5, but every day it sounds a little more appealing. But anyway, back to Head Over Heels. I like the emphasis on yoga, and like as a type A kind of like fast person, I guess, the thought of yoga is like, if you're not sweating, what's the point? Which is her philosophy too. And I like the emphasis on just like the mind-body connection, and that a fitness can look multiple ways and success can look multiple ways. There's not always one right way to do things. I just relate so much to this character. So I am very much enjoying it. I will probably finish it during nap time, if not a little bit before. And so I will get on and let you know my final thoughts. Hey everyone, so it's about 4:20 on Tuesday, and I just finished Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein, and I really like this book. I gave it 4 stars. So I loved everything I've talked about before. I thought the main character, Avery, was very relatable, and then I also just loved seeing how she grew, and like how coaching Hallie, the young girl, was kind of like therapeutic for her, and almost like it just led to a lot of her healing. And then I loved how this book really put an emphasis on some very real issues. I think the romance was by far the weakest part of this book, but for me, that didn't bother me. So I don't know if I talked about it all, but she had a best friend. Avery had a best friend who was also going through like the Olympic trials with her, and her name was Jasmine. They were both coached by this guy named Dimitri, who was just very tough. So he was a tough coach, which is okay, right? Not so much. He was very abusive to the girls. And so there's a lot of talk, big trigger warnings for emotional, sexual abuse, body image, eating disorders. All those kind of things are talked about in this book. Jasmine and Dimitri both just kind of write Avery off when she gets injured and can't go to the Olympics. And so they lose touch. And now 8 years later, they kind of reconnect. And we hear a little bit more. Jasmine is actually married to Dimitri. And so we hear more about that relationship, and we just really see a lot of things brought to light and a lot of issues that may be faced by young gymnasts. I don't know. I've never been involved in the gymnastics world at all, so I don't really know anything about it. But from the outside, I thought the issues were brought up and dealt with pretty well. And as I said before, I really like the emphasis on yoga and just redefining what fitness and wellness means, and talking about things beyond what can earn medals, not just your physical performance, but your physical and mental health, and just the whole picture of wellness, and how that has got to be important for not only these gymnasts, but for everybody. I loved all the women's relationships, and I kind of think this almost chose the line to be more of a women's fiction, because there is the romance between Avery and the other coach, who is Ryan, and their relationship is good. but it's just not the strongest element of this book. So if you go into this book, there's a lot about gymnastics, there's a lot about those hard topics, and there's a lot about women's relationships. And so I would almost say it's like a sports romance, women's fiction kind of thing. I don't know, it crosses a lot of lines. So all that said, I think that wraps up my bonus day of Contemporaryathon. 3 books down, and I loved all of them. It's a great way to end my kind of 10-day readathon. I did Read-A-Rama around 14 and then backed right up to this mini Contemporaryathon, and I had such a blast. So if you have read any of the books that I have read, let me know. If you participated in either readathon, let me know. And huge thank you to the hosts of Contemporaryathon for doing this little impromptu weekend thing. It was such a good time, and I will see you later. Thank you for watching.